Hi, and welcome to another episode of Piano TV. So today we are going to talk about the rhythm called triplets. This is the musical kind of triplets we're doing. So if you've ever looked at your notes and you see like a little 3 sitting on top of the notes and it's not a finger number, that's a triplet. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So let's just hop on in. So here's what a regular quarter note triplet might look like in music. So it's got that bracket and the 3, which is telling us the triplet. So now usually when you have 3 quarter notes, you have 3 beats, like 1, 2, and 3. But triplets defy all logic. So these 3 quarter notes now need to fit inside of 2 beats instead of 3. And this is where it gets a little bit tricky. They need to be spaced out just as evenly as regular quarter notes, only their time to pass is shorter. So again, instead of 3 beats, it's gonna have 3 notes and 2 beats. So if I were to draw in where the beats would align with the notes, beat 1 and the first note, they kind of like match up at the same time. Beat 2 would fit in maybe somewhere like right after the second quarter note, and beat 3 would go there. And that's when you would start anew with another note, maybe at like a quarter note. So let's go to the keyboard and hear what this is gonna sound like. So I'm gonna turn on the metronome to 80 beats per minute. It's gonna sound like this. Nice slow pace. So 3 normal quarter notes are gonna sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? Do you hear how that all matches up? So in order to do triplets, I have the beat set to 2/4 time signature, which means you can kind of see the flashing light. It's just going in groups of 2. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna press 3 quarter notes in these 2 beats, and I'm just gonna repeat it a few times so you can see. So you can see how that sounds a lot different than just this. Quarter notes, triplet, triplet, quarter note. Me personally, I find saying triplet, which isn't technically how you pronounce it, but triplet helps you think about triplets and how to play them. Triplet, triplet. That's just a little mental trick that I do. So watch when you're playing triplets that you're keeping them all really even. What happens sometimes is something like this. I'll give you an example. Triplet, where the first note is really long and the next 2 are short. So when you're learning triplets and when you're practicing this, maybe record yourself and then listen back to really make sure that everything is all the same beat and that you're not holding any of those beats a little too long. Another type of triplet that you're likely to encounter at some point is the 8th note triplet. So usually 3 8th notes, when they're not triplets, get 1.5 beats. But when we transform them into triplets, it's the exact same process as before. So 3 8th notes now have to fit inside 1 beat. So we have a little example here. Now these triplets would all equal beat 1. These 2 8th notes here would be the second beat. And then this last quarter note would be the third beat. I actually find this quite a bit easier to understand and play as compared to quarter note triplets, but maybe that's just me. So just to show you how the beats would all line up, let's take a look at this example in a little bit more depth. So usually when we have 8th notes, we count with ands, like 1 and 2 and, etc. So your and would go there and your and would go there. Now, this is going to be a lot like the quarter note triplets. Your and is going to kind of fall somewhere in the middle of these 3 triplet notes. So maybe just after the second 8th note. Let's take a look at the keyboard here. Let's get that metronome going at 80 again here. So regular 8th notes, there's going to be 2 to every count, like this. 1, 2, 1, and 1, and 1, and. All right, so to do a triplet, we need to fit 3 of those 8th notes in 1 beat, and that's going to sound like this. I'll alternate triplet notes and quarter notes. Triple, triplet, triplet, triplet. Now, just like before, you want to make sure that all 3 notes are played evenly and that you're not holding one note longer than the other. So let's speed it up to 100 and just see what a faster triplet in 8th notes is going to sound like. So that's going to be triplet, quarter, triplet, quarter. Now, this is just kind of fun, but for a famous example, a piece that uses triplets a lot is the Star Wars theme, and they use 8th note triplets. And that will sound something like this. I'm just going to play it with the metronome so you can hear. Triplet da, triplet triplet, triplet, triplet. So you can kind of see there's triplets all over that piece. So it is something that it's not super common, but you will run into it. So it's a good idea to practice this. And that's all there is to it. So triplets are fun because they shift the meter and they add rhythmic interest and excitement. So make sure you study them up and you know how to do them the next time they come across your music. And just like in life, if you have 3 triplet children, if you have 3 triplet notes, you got to make sure that you give them all equal time and attention. See what I did there? Oh, grandpa jokes all over the place. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. And to keep up to date, you can visit pianotv.net and you can subscribe and all that good stuff. Thanks for watching. Again, I always say that twice. I'm extra thankful. I'm always double thankful. Toodaloo. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Scratch your kitten.